class. I hope everybody had a great time at lunch today. I would like to begin class by showing you guys some cool little sparks that we're going to look at in real life coming off the grinding stone. As you can see, this is the one on this side is high carbon steel, and it's got lots of little carbon bursts coming off of it, and then low carbon steel is on the other side. So I'll let you guys pass it around. Now, to get to looking at those sparks, we are going to follow a couple of little steps. The first thing that we're going to do is a safety check and then verify that we are all wearing proper clothes, have hair tied back, no jewelry, so that way we are safe when handling the grinding stone. The next thing we're going to do is remove the tool guard, lock our finger on the grinding stone, or on the safety part of the grinding stone, and then we're going to rest the metal on the stone and watch and learn from the sparks coming off. So I'm going to have everybody come over here and grab your safety glasses. So, since I have everybody's attention, you guys can see I've taken off my ring and I took off my my keys that were hanging around, which could easily get caught in the stone and could severely hurt me. And we're going to take this tool guard off. And I already have the bolts loosened. This will never be this loose for you guys. And this is the only time that this should ever come off is when you're actually testing metals to check what kind they are. So we have a couple samples here. This is the high carbon steel, and I'm also going to grab the low carbon steel so you guys can kind of see those sparks. How I was talking about locking your finger to best hold on is right here. You're going to put your pinky finger behind and you're going to put the metal down on the stone while it's turning, and then the sparks are going to come off right here, and we're going to look at the amount of bursts that they are, how big they are, and how frequent we see them. So, with this turned on, I'm going to apply it here. Daisy, what did you think about the sparks that were coming off of the high carbon steel?
There were lots.
There were lots, yes. And would you say that the carbon bursts, when they go, do they happen just in one part of the street at the spark streak, or are they all over?
All over.
All over, good. And so now we're going to do the low carbon steel. And Matt, what can you tell me about the difference between the sparks on the high carbon steel and the low carbon steel?
There weren't as many.
There weren't as many, correct. So, would anybody like to have an opportunity to put it on the stone? And I think Alan wants an opportunity to.
Sure.
Okay.
So what am I doing again?
What are you doing again? You're going to take this one. We're actually going to use a good medium carbon steel, so you guys can see kind of what a medium spark is going to look like. Go ahead and step on this side. And if you remember, I showed you to lock your finger. There you go.
Like so?
Yep, and so you'll hold it down with that. Correct. So go ahead and turn it on when you're ready. So as you guys can see, go ahead. The strings that are coming off are a little bit longer and also have a lot of bursts, as opposed to when you use the low carbon steel. Go ahead and do that one. You don't see nearly as many sparks coming off, not nearly as many carbon bursts coming off the spark streak. Go ahead and turn that off. Does anybody have any questions? Would anybody else like to? Oh, okay. All right, so if I can get everybody to come sit back down over here.
Get close up of Marvin's.
Today we did a big safety check, made sure hair and everything was tied back. Everybody was wearing safety glasses. I took off my ring and any jangling material that we had on, if you notice, I didn't ask Matt to come up and go to the grinding stone because he had a looser jacket on. And so when you are testing metal for yourself, you don't want to be wearing that jacket just because you don't want to get caught in the grinding stone. We removed the tool guard so we could watch the amount of sparks that were coming off and make sure that they look good. And then we put our fingers, we locked them on there so that way we don't accidentally drop the piece of metal or run our arm down the front of the grinding stone, which would really hurt. And then we put the metal on the stone to watch the different sparks. Can anybody tell me why it's important to know what kind of steel you have? Nobody knows? Okay. So if you were to have high carbon steel, it's a really, really strong steel, and you would want that for drill bits, for circle saws, for any kind of a strong material. And then just a regular medium carbon or even a low carbon steel could be something that you would use in your kitchen, like some frying pans or even these desks. Okay, so now we're going to move on and have a lesson about drill bits. Thanks.